Hey guys, Constance here from CosmopolitanCornbread.com. So today I am bringing you back into the homestead kitchen to share a very old-fashioned recipe with you. And the reason I'm sharing this on a Saturday, which is not a day that I normally post videos and content on, is because I was invited by Katie of Heritage Ways to join in on a collaboration entitled Savor the Scraps. So this collaboration has Katie and several other channels posting recipes on Saturdays all through the month of May. And I am signed up for the first week to do that, along with Freedom Homestead and the farm on Route 66 Family Homestead. So us four channels will be posting recipes this week, and next week there will be other channels taking part, and the following week after that, etc. So all through the month of May we will be sharing these Savor the Scraps recipes. And of course, Savor the Scraps means to find a way to reuse your leftovers or make meals stretch. And I thought that was a great collaboration to participate with because everybody's always looking for a way to stretch a dollar. And so the recipe that I'm sharing with you today is one that uses leftover ham. Now, anytime I make a ham, I always make a great big ham. Even though we are now empty nesters, my husband and I are, it's just the two of us, I'm still going to make a full-sized ham anytime I cook one, because cooking a whole ham is going to be very cost-effective, because I will take all of those leftovers, divide them up, and freeze them in portions to use for future meals. So I can get a whole lot of meals out of one ham. I do the same thing for turkey during like Thanksgiving. I will get the biggest turkey that I can find so that we have plenty of leftovers, not only the next day, but down the road I can pull turkey, leftover turkey out of my freezer. And so like I mentioned, the recipe that I'm sharing today is a very old-fashioned recipe. It's actually called Amish Ham Salad. And that's a little bit deceiving because it's not just ham that goes into this, but also hard-boiled eggs. And you don't use mayonnaise. You make this very simple sauce that goes into the salad as opposed to using mayonnaise. So I think you'll really like this. It's a little bit different, but it has a ton of flavor, and our family really loves it. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to beat an egg in this little mixing bowl here. And to this, I'm going to add a half a cup of milk. Now I'm going to whisk in 2 teaspoons of all-purpose flour. Now I'm going to put in about a half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. I really always like to use freshly ground black pepper. I think the flavor is so much better. The only time I will use pre-ground, like out of the tin from the seasoning aisle, is if I'm doing something that uses a lot, because that would be a lot of grinding by hand. Alright, and about the same of the salt, about a half teaspoon. I'm just going to eyeball it. And then finally a teaspoon of mustard, just normal yellow mustard. You can really use any kind of mustard you like. If you want to use spicy mustard, you can. So these are a few of my sauce ingredients, but I'm not quite ready for these yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and set the bowl aside for now. And in my saucepan, because like I said, this doesn't use mayonnaise, we're going to actually make a sauce. I'm going to pour in 1/3 of a cup of white vinegar. And I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of honey. Now, originally when I started making this, it called for sugar, but I tend to prefer honey over sugar. You can use sugar though if you prefer. That is perfectly all right. So now I'm just going to turn the stove on kind of a medium, and I'm going to cook these over medium heat until the vinegar and honey mixture, or vinegar and sugar mixture, whichever you prefer, begins to boil. Alright, so my vinegar mixture is just beginning to boil, and so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour in my egg and milk mixture. I'm going to keep stirring with my whisk here until the sauce begins to bubble and thickens right up. And it's going to create this lovely, rich, and creamy honey mustard dressing for the salad. So now my dressing here, my honey mustard sauce, has begun to boil and has thickened right up. So I'm going to remove this from the heat and grab a mixing bowl here, spatula, and we're going to put this together. So now I've got some leftover ham, and this recipe calls for about 2 cups of diced up cooked ham, and I think I'm a little heavy on it, but we'll just work with it. So I'm going to put this in my mixing bowl. Next, I'm going to add in some diced hard-boiled eggs. Now, technically I don't actually boil the eggs, so it's much more accurate to call them hard-cooked eggs. However, I do have 2 recipes for making the hard-cooked eggs on my blog, CosmopolitanCornbread.com. I have the traditional cook in a saucepan type of recipe, but then I also have a recipe for doing it in the Instant Pot. And like most homesteaders, we have chickens, and if you've ever had eggs straight from a chicken, straight from the farm, and tried to make hard-boiled eggs out of them, it is almost impossible to peel those eggs. And I have tried every trick out there over the years, and none of them ever worked for me until I learned how to do them in an Instant Pot or pressure cooker, and now they practically leap out of their shells. So this recipe calls for about 9 hard-boiled eggs, but you can adjust that to more or less depending upon how much you want in there. So I'm going to give those a quick stir to kind of combine them together. And now I'm going to add in my dressing. And just stir it all together. Now I'm going to cover this up and refrigerate it for a little while to get it nice and chilled. Alright, so that's it, you guys. I thought I would come out here onto the front porch, sit on my porch swing, and enjoy my ham salad for lunch. You can find a print version of this recipe on my blog, cosmopolitancornbread.com, where you can print it out, you can save it on Pinterest, or however you like to save your recipes. Now there are other ways that you can mix this up. You can try adding in some diced onions, you could add some shredded cheddar cheese or Swiss cheese, that would be really good as well. And of course, you can serve it on bread as a sandwich, or you can serve it with lettuce as a salad, however you like to do it. It's a very flexible recipe. So be sure to check out all of the other channels that are participating in this collaboration that Katie has organized. There will be a playlist of all of the videos on her channel, Heritage Ways, and I will have a playlist of all of the recipes as well on my channel, Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So if you are new here and you are seeing my channel or my videos for the first time, my name is Constance. My husband and I are empty nesters. We were an active duty Army family for 25 years and have retired in northern Alabama, where we have a homestead. I am a blogger and have been for many years, and I have two websites, cosmopolitancornbread.com, the same as the name of this channel, and I have a second newer blog called Wholesome Skillet, which focuses on healthy, grain-free, sugar-free recipes. And I do at least 3 videos a week here on my channel of homesteading, home cooking, and back to basics. So be sure to hit the subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed so you don't miss a thing. So thanks for joining me here today. Again, my name is Constance from Cosmopolitan Cornbread. I'll talk to y'all next time.